So when Ferdinand Magellan in 1521 discovered the Philippines, his team actually landed in the Visayas region. Just a few days, they actually landed here in Cebu. All right? And in a few years, they actually declared Cebu as the capital of the Philippines. If you don't know, Cebu is the first capital of the Philippines. And as the capital of any country, you can imagine all the investments happened first here in Cebu. Infrastructure, bridges, the ports, buildings, government, all those agencies, even education, even the center of Christianity, right, happened here in Cebu. All right. And then, of course, later on, as we all know, a few years later, they declared Manila as the capital of the Philippines until today. But as Manila and Cebu being the capital of the Philippines, right, being capital of the Philippines, we became the center, we became the center of commerce, the center of banking, the center of education, the center of anything modern. Through the 1500s until today, all the high-tech stuff of all those years and decades happened and entered the Philippines through Manila and also in Cebu. And even until now, especially for my fellow Cebuanos, right, as we all know, Cebu sits as a capital not only in the Visayas region, but also Mindanao and also from Luzon, right? If you want to send your kids to a really great, have a really great education, you bring them to Cebu. Cebu is always on your list. You want to enter any business, start any business, engage in any, trade, you have to be in Cebu, right? And if we fast forward that to today, in our IT BPM industry where I belong, and a lot of the participants here are also from the same industry, right? We all are looking at the Roadmap 2028, established not only by IBPAP, but the rest of the different associations, PSIA, CCAP, and the rest, right? Also, part of that is from my own association here in Cebu, CIB.O, and we'll talk about that more in a bit. The goal, the aspiration is to actually have 59 billion in terms of revenue in 2028, with 2.5 million jobs, direct employees in the IT BPM industry. This is a really big, hairy, and audacious goal for the industry, right? And with all these uncertainties, with all the challenges, we have some threat in the West Philippine Sea and across the globe. Are we able to achieve this, right? Plus the advent of AI, right? We'll try to tackle that as well. So the question now is, for us here in Cebu, what must Cebu do? Right? What must Cebu do in order for us to help, or not only help, but actually lead with the tip of the spear in helping the industry achieve these goals? For us, this looks as just a revenue target and also a job, a headcount target. But for each of the households, this is actually for the family. This is for the Filipinos, right? So what must Cebu do? Couple of factors. And it's quite interesting because a lot of these won't be a surprise. First and foremost would be talent. If we look at the top 10 priorities, I have to say talent is priority number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 10. Right? Why? Because in terms of talent, right, we're not only looking at, do you speak better English for you to be able to work in the BPO industry? No, right now we already have AI. And for some folks, they are saying, because of AI, some of the jobs of the contact center may be reduced or greatly, not really eliminated, right? But let's try to tackle that as well. I'm part of the Cebu IT BPM Organization, or CIB.O. One of the projects that we launched is called, it's actually PRIME, Employment for the IT BPM Readiness Program. The great part of how Cebu will be able to achieve these goals is because of the community. This program was actually done by 3 BPO companies. Have you heard of competing companies actually coming together with one project? This is a project of Wipro, and we have our friends here from Wipro, Teleperformance, and Mahindra. When we came together, we came together to create a curriculum for SIB.O. We didn't name it as, Wipro or Teleperformance or Tech Mahindra. It's for CIBO, for SIB.O. And TESDA recognized SIB.O and made us the industry board. So all those training programs for the IT BPM industry happening in Cebu is through SIB.O. This one is for the English communication program. But this was before. Actually, it's still ongoing because the commitment of TESDA is for 700 graduates. We're done already with 250. We're actually evolving into 4 pillars. Contact center continues, of course. We have healthcare. There's a lot of healthcare operations happening here in Cebu. Banking and financial services, and I see we have some friends from Synchrony Financial. And technology, of course, right? So how are we ensuring that our talent is ready for this? While everybody is so, carried away with AI, right? We see that as like your level 5 or level 4 type of complexity in terms of skill. Let us not forget that level 1 still exists. Because when you graduate from college, you don't come out immediately tomorrow as a manager for the cybersecurity or for process excellence, right? You still need that level 1. So we're taking care of that. Even up to level 2. That's the aspiration of all the members of SIB.O. And we have several of the Board of Trustees here, even with Lexmark, right? For the level 3, the more complex type of work, we actually need all the companies to help with that. Just like Tech Mahindra, we have diverse training programs to upskill, retool, and evolve our employees from doing level 1, level 2 type of customer service or technical support into more complex type of jobs, right? Next would be cost competitiveness. No? So we got this average for from like a level 1 up to a manager and senior manager level in terms of the salary levels. But looking at North America compared to the Philippines, we are very much right there in terms of providing that cost effectiveness, but with the highest level of quality, because we've been doing this business for over 20 years already, right? And in terms of Cebu and Manila, comparing Cebu to Manila, Metro Cebu to Metro Manila, we're about 15% lower in terms of our overall rates, which actually puts Cebu at a really strategic spot as we speak to the global clients, even local clients. For infrastructure, our good friend Patrick, my tokayo, I hope I'm as handsome as Patrick, right? Definitely, telco is very critical. Telecommunications is very critical for our industry to survive and for our industry to achieve that goal for 2028. Real estate, again, we have our friends, our sponsors are here today. We need your help for that, right? We need world-class infrastructure, world-class office spaces. We also need transportation, right? As we all know, especially in the Visayas, where we have several small islands, right? If you check the history, the typhoons in the Philippines love to arrive during the weekends. So how do we actually help our folks who typically after the Friday, Saturday shift cross the islands? And I see some of the BPO companies nodding their heads, right? On Monday, these folks wants to come back to work, but they can't because the Coast Guard won't allow the boats the ferries, to move from one island to the next. How are we able to help with that, right? Well, I think we are now able to do that with work from home. We have now more options. I added cybersecurity as part of infrastructure, right? Because at the end of the day, no matter how great we are with our operations, just one fraud, just one breach can actually close down a center, can actually close down a contract, right? And I see the BPO and IT members in the room nodding their head. This is very critical for us. We're not just providing the best customer experience, but also risk management is very critical for the IT BPM industry. In terms of strong partnership, we're actually quite fortunate that our national and local government are really partnering with the IT BPM industry. Did you know that here in Cebu, they actually declared April 1 as the IT BPM Day? So I don't know if any other city in the Philippines is that much supportive, excited with the IT BPM industry, Cebu. And we've also seen this during the pandemic, right? During the lockdowns. If you wear an ID from the IT BPM industry, you can pass through all the checkpoints. You can go through all the, you can go to work. At the same time, our academe, right, is very critical. As I just mentioned earlier, one of the key differentiators of Cebu is that all these institutions are not only world-class, but they've been here for several decades already. Again, that's the reason why I started with talking about the discovery of the Philippines, because it puts Cebu at the center of the global arena, right? In terms of industry linkages, I'd like to talk about, again, about the Cebu IT BPM Organization, CIB.O, right? We have several members here later on who's going to join us on stage. But the very unique composition, the structure, what's unique about CIB.O is that the Board of Trustees are both from the industry and from the academe. So going back to the challenge and the opportunity of the IT BPM industry, where you have talent, right, as the #1 critical item, for CIB.O, we are fortunate. Why? Because we already have the academe sitting on the board, not just members. They're sitting on the board. When you talk about skills, framework, development, enhancement, tweaking, right? And my TechM and Lexmark are part of the talent development team where I'm humbled to serve as the chairman for CIB.O for talent development. This is very critical. In fact, next week, Friday, we have the Transformation Summit of CIB.O. It's the key highlight for the year for CIB.O. Skilled workforce. So again, when it comes to AI, normally people will ask about, okay, so how is AI affecting all that, right? But if you ask me, and I've been in the industry for about 20 years, right? I think India and the Philippines have the partnership that both India and the Philippines did in the IT BPM industry. For them to partner instead of compete is really brilliant. I believe that because of that decades of partnership of India and the Philippines, even AI, right, while it will challenge us, we are actually the ones nourishing, we're the ones learning AI. And I believe that both India and the Philippines will champion AI. And again, put both countries at the center stage of the global IT BPM requirement. Here in Cebu, our skilled workforce for the IT BPM industry is about 220,000 already. Our goal is to add about 15 to 20% year on year, right? And I can see the rest of our, my partners here from the other IT BPM companies rallying towards adding about that 20% increase, right? Okay. Guys, I have a video to end my sharing of insights. But just to sort of before the video, can I invite everybody, to help me cheer for Cebu? We've been talking about Cebu as world class, Cebu as a center of excellence for the globe, right? So let's cheer for Cebu. All right, guys, can we do this together? So when I shout world class, everybody says Cebu. All right, and I'll say that the second time. I'll shout world class. I need everybody to shout Cebu. And then the third time, all of us will shout it at the same time, world class Cebu, and then roar. Right? Nag-toothbrush ba kayo? Roar. Okay. Practice, okay? I'll shout world class, we say Cebu. Second time, I shout world class, we say. Third time, together, world class Cebu. All right, let's do this. Are you guys ready? Before my video, let's do this, guys. World class! Cebu! World class! World class Cebu! Thanks, guys.
For centuries, the Philippines has served as a key trading hub in the Southeast Asian region, attracting merchants and traders from all corners of the world. Renowned for its strategic location at the heart of the archipelago, Cebu has been a pivotal player in the country's economic landscape for centuries. Nestled amidst the azure waters of the Philippines, the diverse industries and markets and bustling ports of Cebu attract traders and businesses from near and far, making it a key player in the global economy. From its roots as a trade center, Cebu now connects the world digitally. Cebu is poised to spearhead the IT BPM industry through cost competitiveness, talent, infrastructure, strong linkages, and skilled workforce. Cebuanos are known for their work ethic, dedication, and collaborative spirit. Our workforce is adaptable, eager to learn, and possesses a strong desire to excel. With Tech Mahindra, a global leader as a potential partner, the future is bright.